Welcome to the I Can Do That Unscripted podcast. My name is Shayna, and I'm the executive director of the I Can Do That Performing Arts Center in Danville. And this podcast is all about talking about and celebrating the past 10 years of the company, seeing who's been a part of this world and what our hopes and dreams are for going into the future. And I am so thankful and so lucky to have an alumni student with me today, Ainsley McCarthy. And Ainsley was with us starting when they were around 13 years old, and they were a part of shows kind of on and off for 5 years. So thank you so much for being here. It's so good to see you.
It's really good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Oh my God. I love it. I love it. Okay. So, but before we jump into questions or anything else, can you briefly just catch us up on what you've been up to in the years since you were a part of I Can Do That?
Yeah. So I went to college for 2 years, learned that I don't like college.
Totally.
And pivoted to now working full-time as a vet tech assistant. And I live in Los Angeles now with my boyfriend and our cats and our snakes.
Oh.
And that's what I've been up to.
I love it. And I think, for the audience, we will probably get lucky and have a little kitty cat visitor possibly sometime during the podcast. So I'm excited for that. Okay. So before we go into questions, I'm going to do a quick flash round. So you can just answer quickly whatever comes to mind. Okay. Opening night or closing night?
Closing night.
Okay. Singing or dancing?
Singing.
Musical or play?
Ooh, probably musical.
Mm-hmm. Rehearsal or performance?
Performance.
Tech Week, did you love it or hate it?
I loved it.
Yeah. Auditions, thrilling or terrifying?
Oh.
LA traffic, manageable or soul testing?
Soul testing every day.
Cats or dogs?
Both, either, any animal.
Any animal, any and all. Okay, what's a theater song that you think is underrated?
Ooh, underrated. I really like, this is very, very specific. There's a rendition of Life on Mars by David Bowie that was done for a jukebox musical.
Ooh.
And I love that specific rendition of that song.
I love that. Okay, well, I will find it or I will ask you to send it to me because I love David Bowie. Amazing. Okay, dream role, past or present? Or future?
Wow, I don't even know. I feel like I used to think about this all the time.
Right.
I feel like a lot of my dream roles are unattainable because I really want to play all of the evil male villain characters.
I mean, it's a dream role for a reason. It can be anything. Yeah.
Probably someone from Be More Chill, like the computer from Be More Chill.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. I love that. I love that. Okay, I'm going to say something off the thing. I forgot to tell you of when we get into the questions, which I'm about to, some questions you might have a little more to speak, some a little bit less, probably around 3 minutes or so per question, but we'll, some will be quick, some won't, just so we can see how many we can get through. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay. So now we're going to launch into questions. So my first question is, what was the transition like going from living at home to going off on your own?
Wonderful, but scary.
Yeah.
I think going to college for a few years was definitely a good middle ground before just jumping into renting an apartment and being a grown up.
Yep.
But yeah, it's interesting how much stuff you're I actually don't know how to do that, and I need to call my mom.
Right. Well, what's an example of one of those things?
Just how long to cook things for. What do I do if this and this item breaks? How did you used to fix that?
Right.
How much detergent am I supposed to put in my laundry?
Yep.
Little things that you don't remember.
I totally.
For you.
I totally felt the same way. I remember that too. Yeah. Okay. So how did you currently get into what you're doing right now as a vet tech?
So I'm just an assistant right now because I'm not certified, but I started at a vaccine clinic a few years. I worked there for 3 years, which was like a good introduction to vet med.
Yeah.
It's like lower stakes. You're not dealing with like things that are dying.
Right.
And then I decided I wanted to work at a full hospital, and I've worked there for almost 6 months now.
Oh, amazing. Great. Do you want to introduce us to your friend just so we know who we're also speaking to?
This is Pandora, a little dumb girl.
Dora. And she is how old?
She's 2. Her sister is asleep behind me and not as cuddly.
Oh, I love it.
Pandora's the sweet one.
She's so cute. She's so cute. All right. Well, we can ask her questions later too. Okay. So when you were a student, like in middle school, high school, did you have any idea of like what you wanted to do as you grew up?
Like, not always. I had about like a million different careers that I wanted since I was little. But I did always love animals forever. Like, my mom was a dog walker. I would help her.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense that this is like what I landed on.
Right.
Theater was always something that I loved. And for a while, I wanted it to be my career. But now I think it's just like a passion and interest.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. So what are you most proud of yourself in this like current season of your life?
Just being, for the most part, self-sufficient at my age.
Yeah.
I still have a lot of friends where I'm like, I feel like proud of myself. I'm like, no, I like live on my own. I have my pets, my full-time job, and I support myself. And I think I'm proud of myself for that.
As you should be. It's amazing. It's a world that you can't know until you're in it, of everything that it takes to do it, and it can be so intimidating. But on the other side of it, it's like, wow, I'm so capable of doing what I need to do, and now I get to make my life my own.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay, so we're going to go back to I Can Do That years a little bit. So when you think back on your I Can Do That years, how would you describe yourself, like in school, in theater, and just kind of you as a person?
Enthusiastic. At times, pretty scatterbrained. I think theater makes you learn self-discipline in a big way because, like when you're in theater, you can't have your director telling you all the time what to do and the timeline of when to memorize stuff. It teaches you how to like kick your own butt and get your act together. Yeah, like be accountable and
yeah, absolutely. Yep. What was it about theater that you love so much? Like, why were you drawn to it initially, and what were the first like parts that you loved?
The attention.
Yeah. Yes.
That was the fun part. But I mean, I've always been a singer since I was little, and it's just so fun to not just like sing, but perform a song. And then, like, I've always loved movies and TV and anything theatrical, and being like, I want to do that.
Right.
I want to perform and like go through all of these characters' emotions and experience that. So being able to put it all together and do musical theater was just very, very appealing and fun.
Yeah. What would you say that one piece of it is more thrilling than the other, or fulfilling? So singing, acting, dancing, where did you feel like, did you have a first love in those?
Singing was probably what brought me into it, just because that's always something I've done, but I think I grew to love the acting piece of it more than anything.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, I get it, because then that's going to impact the way that you're singing it too. Like if you're understanding who you are and what you're trying to communicate, you're going to bring so much more depth. And I'm sure it leads into so much more beauty and depth again, like in the vocals of the show. I love it. Okay. How did you feel about auditioning back then?
I think it's fun. It's like a challenge. I'm very competitive. So being able to compete in something that I feel I had some talent in was always very satisfying to me.
Oh, good.
but it's scary, but that's like part of what makes it fun.
Right, exactly. So, when I talk to other kids, they talk about like, I'm in my head of like, I'm not good enough, or I know I've heard her sing and she's so good and now I'm going in. Like, what would you say was some of like your self-talk that allowed you to feel like confident and see it as like a challenge instead of a fear?
Well, just knowing that I worked hard and also learning to like accept rejection sometimes and not have like a fear of like, oh my God, if I don't get this role, the world is over. Just
Right.
being like, no, I worked hard and if I earned it, I will get it.
Right. Right. If it's the fit, then I'll get it. And if not, yeah. And sometimes at least
I will move on and try again.
Right. For me in theater, like being a lead and being ensemble, sometimes when I was a lead, the shows when I was my double cast was playing, usually Jerusha, when we were double cast, when I was ensemble, I had so much more fun in the ensemble because I could be like silly and ridiculous, and there isn't this level of like pressure too. Did you have any similar?
Yeah, no, that was definitely a lot. I don't want to say easier, but it's a very different experience to get to be part of just like the big group number and you get to like hang back and support.
Yeah.
It's also a very fun experience.
I love it. Okay. What was one of your favorite shows or a favorite role during your time at I Can Do That? And why does that one stand out?
I think Pippin as the leading player was like probably my best experience. I think probably because it was my first time getting like a leading role, and it kind of made me feel like, oh, I can do this. I can do that.
I know it's gonna happen.
But
yeah,
because it just made me realize like, oh, I can take on these big roles.
Right.
I can play these big characters.
Yes. And what an amazing show and character, right? That's not just a lead. It's like the, really drives the entire show. Yeah, it was so beautiful to watch you in that. Say it again.
She's a big character.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
Amazing. Yeah, and it was so cool to watch you really like come to life in that role because like we knew you could do it so well. But when you're first starting in, like you're hesitant because it is a first like major role kind of a thing, right? So the progression, this is for everybody and anybody who's getting a lead, right? Of like you come in and it's you're a little nervous and hesitant and who knows what. And then when we get to see you guys on stage, just the transformation of like who you become and the confidence in that and how Ainsley is like sitting to the side and you truly are that character was just so beautiful to watch.
Yeah, that was a big learning role.
Yeah.
I definitely lacked confidence in the beginning, and that role, like, not just in theater, but I got to embody that like very confident character, and I think it made me different.
Yeah. Tell me more about that.
So my family kept commenting that my posture had changed.
Totally.
I think from that role, because I used to slouch and like carry my arms all like small.
Right.
And in that role, you were constantly giving me notes like, no, you need to stand up straight, put your arms by your side, stand up straight, put your arms by your side. And I think I just started walking like that all the time.
Right.
Just from that role.
That's so funny. Like when else in life do we have someone like critiquing our what's the word I'm trying to come up with? Our posture. Thank you. Like when do we have people in our lives like commenting on our posture and like checking you on it all the time? So, and that's like such a good example that I've experienced in theater and going on, which is like you act it, you just play it. I'm playing confident, right? I get to be this role that is that. And if you keep doing it at some point, if it's something that you do habitually, it becomes a part of your life, then you become it. Right. So like whether it's you being confident on stage as a character, or it's you going in for audition, or you going in for a job interview, or you're going to a party and you're like, oh my gosh, the person I was coming to meet isn't here yet. Like, what do I do? You're like, I feel blah, but I'm going to walk in and I'm going to play that I feel confident. And it really, you can turn it on and it's so effective.
Yeah. And that is like, I think the biggest positive impact that theater has had on my life is just teaching me, and anybody who does it at a young age, just how to carry yourself, like in job interviews or pretty much any job where you have to do any level of customer service,
Yeah.
just learning how to like stand up straight and speak clearly and loudly and present yourself well.
Yes. Yes. I love it. I love it.
Oh, so sorry.
It's so cute. It's so cute. Okay. Do you remember a challenging moment like during those years where you felt like, you know, and through it, maybe you saw some growth and you needed to stretch yourself?
Well, so my last show with you guys, I was in 3 shows at the same time.
Oh my gosh. What was the show? Remind me.
Guys and Dolls.
Guys and Dolls.
So during that, I was Sarah in Guys and Dolls. I was Will Shakespeare in Shakespeare in Love, and I was Tonka in Mamma Mia, and they all opened within like I think a month of each other, 2 months of each other. So, and I was about to graduate high school, so I was still
right,
that,
right,
and applying for colleges.
Wow. So how did you, manage that?
That was exhausting.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I managed it, but I got it done.
Right. You just kind of have to. You just keep going, and it's maybe like wherever you are, that's going to get 100% of your attention because you can't have your mind like wandering onto everything else. And wow. Yeah. Yeah. But you got through it. And
experience.
Yeah. And I mean, your performance as Sarah, like I never would have known. And I'm sure I knew at the time that you had these other things going on, but nothing drew back from your performance as her. You know, it wasn't like, I wish Ainsley could have had more time to really give it, you know, all of herself. Like you really poured yourself into it. And that's the real world too, you know. Is there going to be these times in your life where it's like, there's no way you can make it simpler on yourself. There's just a lot going on, but it's for like a season. This is going to be for a bit. This is not forever, you know? And hopefully like experiences like that kind of build evidence that you can manage something as stressful as that.
Yeah. I learned that I can be busy and I can get everything done.
Right.
Even though it's hard.
Right. Exactly. Great. Okay. Do you have like any moment that like stands out in your mind of like where you felt like incredibly proud of yourself or super joyful in a rehearsal or tech or performance?
Honestly, any opening night that went well, and most of them did, that is just the best feeling.
Totally.
When it's like you're finally opening and there's an audience and it's the moment that you've been working for months and it happens and it goes well. That's like the most rewarding feeling.
It's so fulfilling. Yeah. Yeah. Does that change the game for you? Do you get nervous before you go on stage when the audience is there?
I would get nervous, but never like, I wouldn't say I have stage fright.
Yeah.
But of course, I think it's healthy to be nervous. I think you do better when you have a little bit of anxiety about that.
Yeah. I'd have to find this study and make sure that I need to fact check myself. But I remember hearing that in your brain, that one of the areas that's activated when you're feeling that like nervousness is also the same area that's activated when you're excited, you know? And so it's like trying to reframe it of like, I'm actually just like dying to get out there. Like, I'm so thrilled to do this, you know, and it feels all real, but it's because I'm like, I want to give it everything I've got. I want them to see what I've worked on so hard.
Yeah.
So good. Great. Okay. I'm looking at my questions and seeing okay. Yeah. How do you think maybe theater helped you understand yourself better?
I think just by the nature of like playing different characters, it's like you experience all of these different emotions on behalf of fictional characters.
Right.
And so you do learn just how to feel, I guess, the way I look at it. That was always really enjoyable for me, and I think gave me a lot of introspections. Like, I think it teaches you empathy. I think that's the biggest thing, is you're like reading about these fictional characters, and you have to not only like understand what they're going through, but you have to like feel it and portray it.
Yes.
It just makes you empathetic.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's like a freedom in theater of, I can go large with this emotion because this is what the character is asking of me. So it's kind of like, it's a cool playground for being a certain way that you maybe normally wouldn't be, and maybe probably wouldn't be in a social environment, right, with everybody watching you. And hopefully that gives us confidence to bring that into our lives too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you feel like theater taught you anything about working with peers, but also working with authority figures like a director or a boss?
Yes, 100%. Especially just working with people. I think it very much prepares you for the real world, because you're not always working with people who you get along with.
Right.
You're not always working with people who you like, or sometimes people don't hold their weight, or sometimes people are doing much better than you, and you just have to learn how to work together with people.
Yeah.
And take criticism and direction.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very good life skill.
It totally is. Yeah. So same thing of like, when you were working with people that maybe weren't pulling their weight, or like generally you guys just didn't like vibe well together, whatever it is, how did you stay consistent and working on your craft with all of that noise going on?
I mean, all you can control is yourself. You can't control others. So just learning to like do your best.
Yes.
And
yeah.
Like, no matter what other people are doing, if other people are slacking off or pulling their weight, like
Right.
it shouldn't affect your own standard for your quality of work.
Right. And as a director, we see that if things are going wrong and people are not pulling their weight, all of those things, we would know who worked their tails off. And that counts for a lot. Right? It's like, we're not just going to be one of those who's like, well, like they haven't learned their lines either, or whatever it is. Like, no, I'm going to work hard. I'm holding myself to a different standard than maybe other people are, and that's fine. And I want to. And all those things are considered during auditions. And when you're thinking about casting, because if you have a, phenomenal, performer, but their work ethic is like nowhere where you need it to be, and you have someone who's like great, but maybe not as stellar in a certain way that you're looking for, but they just work their tails off, we're going to go with that person.
Yeah. And I saw that a lot, not just at ICDT, but also like in my high school theater. We had some really talented people who would be like, I don't know why I'm not getting leads.
Right.
Well, because you don't work hard.
Right.
Working hard is like half the battle.
It so is. Yeah. So much of life and everything is about, it's not if you're capable, is if you are consistent. Like if you keep yourself motivated and you keep doing it, that's going to be rewarded at work, socially.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. Kind of interesting, but if you could tell middle school or high school version of Ainsley something, what would it be?
Just that I was very like insecure, and I always felt like I was kind of like an imposter. So I probably want to tell myself that like, you're not an imposter and you do belong here, and like you are this person.
Yes.
You're not pretending to be talented. You're not pretending to be good at what you're doing. Like, you are those things.
Like, own it. Yeah, and be proud of it. What do you think contributes to that feeling of the imposter kind of syndrome? Call that.
I think just insecurity at that age, and also being surrounded by people who are so talented.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, there were a lot of talented people.
Right.
At ICDT when I was there, so the comparison.
Yeah, there's a line, comparison is the thief of joy, right? Which I love. And it's so true. And, in the theater world, same thing we were talking about. If there's someone who's super talented and you feel like, wow, they're able to do this, so much better than I am, that might not be what the director is looking for anyways. Like, who knows? And nobody's going to do it the way that you do it. No one's going to look at it the way that you do. So we all have something so unique and interesting to put out there. They can be them as much as they are, but I'm going to fully be me, lean into me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good. Okay, so in that same kind of vein, what would you say to a student who feels like everyone around them kind of like knows what they're going to do in their life and knows what their path is going to be, but they're feeling kind of stressed or unsure or behind?
Just to keep going.
Yeah.
Like, you will find something. You can always change what you're going to do. You can always find a new thing that you love. So to just do that, and also just to let go of the stress of oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do, and just accept that as more an opportunity, because it's great, I don't know what I want to do. I just make the choices.
I love that. It's so true. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say about that? The reality is, in my opinion, most things in life are not permanent. If you try this school and you don't like it, you can change it. If you try this major in school and you don't like it, you can change it. If you start this job, if you date this person, most things that we're doing, we can undo. And we learn so much over that time. And it makes it easier to be like, okay, I'm glad I tried that because now I know that's not for me, or something like that's not for me. And it kind of just keeps honing you in on where you're going. And the path will just unfold as it does.
Yep.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Okay. So middle school and high school for some of us can feel like this really intense bubble, and that everything's going on is really permanent and really huge, right? Looking back now, what would you want a student who's in that kind of a moment to know?
That it's so not permanent. I mean, I was in high school 4 or 5 years ago. That's not that long ago. And
right.
Nothing that was a problem for me in high school is still a permanent installment in my life.
Yes. Yeah.
Everything will change eventually, and you just have to almost make the choice to just be happy and be present, and just decide that I'm not going to let these temporary things ruin my mental health.
Right. 100%. And that's everything, right? A phrase that I've I've learned is a beautiful state. Life is only the meaning we're putting on it, right? And so I can choose to have a negative meaning on it. I can choose to have a positive meaning on it. Why is it helpful for me to be putting this negativity on it? It's really just hurting me. So things are going to happen outside of myself. I can affect my actions. I have choice over my actions, but I also have choice over helping to train myself to stay and find the positive in anything, the opportunity in anything.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So if you were talking to a parent whose child is in theater, is maybe considering theater, what would you tell them theater is really teaching their child, whether or not they pursue theater professionally?
I think it gives you so many good skills that I still use, even though I don't do theater anymore. Again, working with people you don't like, taking criticism, discipline, how to present yourself. It helps you with job interviews if you have to work customer service, which is most jobs. You learn how to be a polished person.
Yes, exactly. You can turn it on when you need to turn it on. Love that. Yeah. Okay. So looking forward for your world, what are you curious about now or coming next in your world, even if it's not any kind of clear path?
Well, I do want to go back to school and get certified as a vet technician.
Yeah.
That's like the next big thing that I would like to get done.
Yeah. That's awesome. What's the path? How do you go about that?
There's different like schools. They're usually shorter. It's not a 4-year degree. It's like a certification. So it's anywhere from like 1 to 2 years of school.
Yeah.
There's online options. So it's very achievable.
Okay.
And hopefully start that process next year.
Okay, that's exciting. And in LA, do you think you're going to stay in LA?
At least for another couple of few years.
Yeah. Great. Okay, so a final question. If there's one thing you hope someone listening to this takes away from your story and who you are and where you've come from, especially a student or a family who's just starting their journey, what would it be?
I think that theater is a very valuable thing. And it might seem like something that to a lot of people may be like silly or trivial, like, oh, getting my kids to theater, that sounds like maybe a waste of time.
Right.
But I think no matter what they do in life, it will benefit them in some way.
Yeah.
And also to let your kids do theater if they want to. I knew a lot of people whose parents were like, no, I want you to focus just on academics or just sports. But I think theater is incredibly valuable in so many ways to the development of especially like young people.
Yeah. I love that. And obviously I agree. So kind of off the record, is there anything else that we didn't cover that you'd want to touch base on? Anything about what it feels like to be in it, what it's like? I did a lot of like thinking back to the mentality of being, middle school and high school, which is like its own freaking, thing. Or any like stories, like funny stories or sweet stories or anything about your parents or anything else you'd want to share about?
Not off the top of my head, honestly.
Okay, good. Okay.
We covered some good ground.
Okay, well, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. I haven't seen you in years, and it's just so good to see your face. I'm so happy that you're doing so well and loving your world, and congratulations of all your success and everywhere you're going. And anytime you're back in the area, come on over, let me know, text me. I'd love to see you. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's been really great chatting with you.
All right.